Labs drawn? Don't be told where to go. Choose for yourself. Choose MagLab.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go!
Placed at the 34-yard line. First and 10.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome out to Welch Stadium at Emporia State University. We're getting a little bit of a late start here on Pittsburg Sports Live, as the Dragons already out to a 7-0 lead over the host Spartans here early in this one. I'm Josh Lettner, alongside me JJ Carlinger, and those of us here at Varsity Sports Live are thrilled to bring you Pittsburg High School football this year. Has a good run that time by Daniel Gardner, a 5'11 junior from Emporia. Picks up the first down of the night for the Spartans as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
We're getting a late start here. We do want to let you know that Pittsburg Sports Live is presented by Crawcan, your community technology partner. Don't get bit by slow speeds and high prices. Get gigabit, fastest internet in Southeast Kansas with Crawcan. Learn more about Crawcan's no-nonsense pricing and multi-gig internet at ckt.net. Handoff coming near side, cut down in the backfield. That was
number 4, Daniel Gardner, for carry, no gain.
That was Daniel Gardner once again for Emporia. Dragons doing a good job getting some penetration up front, stopping that one for no gain. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, number 56, Alex Hinspeeder, made a great tackle there, grabbed him by the ankles and brought him down.
Emporia fumbled on their first drive of the ball game. Dragons were able to recover, drive 25 yards in 6 plays, and score to give the Pittsburgh a 7-0 lead here early on. We'll fill you in on more of the details of that here in just a moment. Dragons show blitz. They come with some pressure. Emporia runs away from it, and they're able to get 6 yards there on a play that looked like it was going to lose yards from the get-go.
Ball at the 49, 3rd and 4.
Alex Hinspeeder once again stepping up, making a tackle for the Dragons.
Bring up 3rd and 4 from the Pittsburgh 49-yard line. First time Emporia has been in Dragon territory here early tonight. Another handoff up the middle, flag coming in here late on this one. Coming in from the offensive backfield from the referee. We'll see what the call is. And it's going to go against the Dragons, as you can tell from the reaction of the home crowd here in Emporia.
Yeah, Dragons got out to a quick start. 6-play drive from the Emporia 25-yard line. Malcolm Riley ended up taking it in for a touchdown for him. But we see Emporia is really, they're not backing off any. They're coming at them right now. They're running hard up the middle.
After the penalty, it sets the Spartans up 1st down and 10 from the Dragon 34-yard line. On the near hash. Pittsburgh coming out in there. Base 4-3 defense, again showing pressure. Here's the snap, and looks like they're going to run a quarterback keep. Dragons right there to limit that one to a gain of about 6 feet. Now bring up 2nd down and 8.
22, Christian Patrick making his way in there, grabbing a hold of him and bringing him down. So 4 plays into this drive, they ran the ball pretty much up the middle all 4 times. It's a little surprising to me with as big as Pittsburgh is on their defensive line.
count got the Dragons jumping that time. And Emporia really trying to use all the tricks in the book, trying to keep the Dragon defense off guard. Certainly on their back foot.
You know, here you are, you're in your first game. That's going to happen sometimes.
Yep.
So I think you're going to be all right. Great job of a hard count, though.
Yeah, brings up a 2nd down and 3 from the Dragon 32. Kroll, the lone back in the backfield. And he'll get the handoff straight up the gut. And again, Emporia just trying to push him forward like a old-fashioned rugby maul. And they get enough yardage for the first down up to the Dragon 21.
Number 59 for the Dragons checking in now.
And a quarterback keep that time. Not much going. Long from about the 20.
Alex Hinspeter, once again, I know we've said his name several times this early in this matchup. It looks like he's going to be playing a big factor for the Dragons tonight. What a great tackle back there. So 7 plays in, still yet to see our first pass.
We might not see it till the 3rd quarter at this rate. Or maybe homecoming. You never know. Single back again for Emporia. Oh, dangerous pitch that time, but they got it done to the outside. And too much paperwork here, JJ. Problems.
Number 5, Jamarcus Davis in on the tackle for the Dragons on that one.
Yeah, the pitch went out to Daniel Gardner, the wide receiver for Emporia. Fortunate to be able to hang on to it. A dangerous pitch.
I tell you, they definitely had me there. I was watching it up the middle, and here it comes around the outside.
Well, normally when you got someone's arms around you as a quarterback, that's not the time to pitch, but they got away with it right there. Another run right up the middle. And there's trying to lock in the 4-wheel drive, JJ, and push this Dragon defense back into the end zone.
You know, Emporia, as you look at them, they don't look as big as our guys, but boy, they sure are playing big.
Well, we apologize for everybody for getting started a little bit late here tonight from Emporia. As you know, we're building this thing while we fly it, and every time you go on the road, it's a bit of an adventure. And we'll get you caught up on some of our pregame stuff as we go here tonight. And thanks for your patience bearing with us. Again, another handoff straight up the gut, and Emporia just trying to muscle the interior of that Pittsburgh defense into the end zone. And I think they picked up the first down there on 4th down.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And it is 1st and goal for the Spartans from the Dragon 10-yard line. Tell you what, even my pen's crapping out on me tonight.
Yeah, one of those nights,
Can't
right?
depend on anything. All right, a quick timeout here on the field. So, JJ, even though we're already rolling into this one, let's go ahead and take a look at our keys to the game for tonight's game. Our keys to the game brought to you by Vietti Auto Body and Alignment in Pittsburgh on the corner of 4th and Joplin since 1948 with John Holland and Bill Hunt. Now in the Vietti Alignment Shop. If it can be aligned, they will align it. From golf carts and side-by-sides all the way up to F550s and small buses, they'll get it done. Schedule your appointment by calling Vietti Auto Body and Alignment at 620-231-6230. JJ, your keys to the game.
I think it's going to be our seniors are going to step up. So we have Parker Pinamani out there playing on the defensive line and offensive line. Cole Hayden, the big tight end, and also defensive end. Cortland Jones, J.C. Patterson. And, we have some real explosive receivers, too. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some passes tonight. Malachi Meadows out there, a senior wide receiver. Cortland Jones out there. So let's see what they do with it. I think we could see some real explosive plays. And, of course, our running back we have, Malcolm Riley. He's going to be a factor. And as we've seen already, too, Mason Derringer.
And you got to think that fatigue is going to be a bit of a factor tonight here early on in the season. It's only 57 degrees outside,
right.
So that's nice. But with a lot of guys on both of these teams playing both ways, the coach has got to be looking out for that.
Yeah, I think so. It's something that, when you talk to Coach Latimer, he preaches toughness. So I think he expects a lot out of his players, and he gets a lot back in return. And we do have, we have a really tough team, so I'm excited to see him get going here.
A little timeout on the field here, first timeout of the night, as it's the end of the first quarter with the Dragons leading 7-0 over Emporia, but the Spartans knocking on the door. They have first and goal to Dragon 10 here to start this second quarter.
And this year's matchup already shaping up to be completely different so far anyway than what we saw last year. Last year the Dragons were able to put up 42 points in the first half. Probably not going to see that tonight, not with the way that they're playing with them as Emporia.
Yeah, the Spartans with a new first-year head coach and a lot of energy over there on their sideline in the crowd, and kind of get the feeling it's a bit of a different squad than we saw last year this time. And I think it's going to be a false start against Emporia, or illegal procedure as they call it at this level.
First game jitters for both teams.
Yeah, back them up to the 15 by the Dragons. A little bit of breathing room, still first and goal from that spot. To be honest with you, I'm not sure we're working the kinks out. It's going to take a second. Micah Gray brings the Spartans up to the line. 4 seconds on the play clock. There's the snap. And they go straight ahead with the fullback on the triple option. Dragons not fooled. And they'll stop him for no gain.
Big Parker Pinamani in there on that tackle, as well as a couple other Dragons. Nice stop for him. I say I'm surprised at how much they're trying the middle, but the big number 77 for Emporia, Jose Vargas, he's a big, strong kid. In fact, throughout their line, they average 6'1", about 270 pounds.
Right, and just trying to get behind all that meat up there and just force the ball forward. And so far, they've done pretty well. Gray with the snap, looking to pass, now rolling under pressure. And he's going to be drugged down after a gain of about a yard at the 14-yard line. And good coverage that time by the Dragons. Nowhere to go with it. Forced to scramble, and the defense recovered.
Yep, Ashton Botter in on the tackle there. This big senior for Pittsburgh, expecting a big year out of him.
Brings up a third and goal from about the 14 of the Dragons as the Pittsburgh defense, trying to get a big stop here inside the red zone.
Yeah, this has been really a long drive here for the Spartans. They're doing a good job of keeping the clock rolling. They're keeping the Pittsburgh offense off the field. And I think that's a big part of, too, when you're facing a flexbone offense. They're so quick and they can make those big plays. And they're doing a good job of just keeping them off the field.
Another timeout on the field. This one taken by the Spartans. So each team burning a timeout. So far here in this first half, 10:21 left to play. Second quarter, Dragons lead it 7-0. I don't know what any of that means. We're going to step away for a quick break. We'll come back More second quarter action from here in Emporia. Dragons on top 7-0 early over the Emporia Spartans. You're watching Purple Dragon football on Pittsburg Sports Live.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawlcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Welcome back to Emporia. Spartans looking at a 3rd and goal from the Dragon 14-yard line. Micah Gray, the quarterback for Emporia. Quick pitch to the outside. And that one goes to Rylan Kroll. And he picks up about 4, maybe 5 yards. They'll bring it up to the 9-yard line where it'll be 4th and goal for Emporia.
Yeah, just trying to test the outside run a little bit. They've been pounding it up the middle as much as they can. I'm sure at this point they're trying to get them a little bit confused, but they're fast. I mean, they really are. They're pretty fast.
So far, the Dragons have done a good job limiting any damage from the outside. It's been pretty much everything right up the gut for Emporia so far. They've been positive plays. They run triple option again, pitch it out to the back, and the Dragons swallow that one up for no gain. A good play on the outside that time by Hinspeeder in there to shut that one down.
Pittsburg takes over on offense.
And that'll turn it over on downs. A big stand by the Dragons.
11-play drive on that.
11 plays,
Yeah.
no points. And Pittsburgh will take over on their own 9-yard line to start this drive. My stat sheet looks terrible. It's almost like it's the first game of the year or something.
Nah.
I take that back. Instead of starting on the 9, they're starting at the 9, 1st and 10. Dragons try and run some triple option. Emporia right there with penetration right through the middle of that offensive line and able to stop Krogan with no forward progress. They'll give him the 4-yard line. The Dragons will have 2nd down and 10 from there.
Big tackle there from them. Really a nice save for them. They were setting up that pitch to the outside. Krogan just wasn't quite able to get out to it quick enough.
Oh, they lost yards on that all the way back to the 5. I thought they gave him forward progress to the 9. Now a flag comes in pre-snap. We'll see what's up here. It's against the Dragons. Somebody must have been some movement. I didn't see it because I'm a mile away. But
Well, if they weren't in the shadow of their own goalpost, they certainly are now.
right. 2nd down and call it 19, 18, something like that for the Dragons from their own 3-yard line. And this time they're going to go straight ahead with Riley. Looks like it picked up maybe a yard. 3rd and forever.
Yeah, he's a strong runner. But when you're facing the entire team coming at you, it's kind of hard to bust through them all.
Right. Ball rests at about the 2.5-yard line. The Dragons need to get it to Olpe for a first down. We'll go 3 wide in this set. Krogan under center. Rolls near side, looking to pass. Pressure. Now he's going to have to do it with his feet. Tight rope in the sideline. He'll get out to the 10-yard line before he's finally forced out. And it'll bring up 4th down and 10 for the Dragons from there. And a punting situation.
Well, as the punter, you got to feel a little better punting from where you're at now compared to where you could have been.
Yeah.
Just state the obvious, I guess.
Well, when you're a play-by-play or a color guy, that's most of the job is stating the obvious. Good gain of 8 yards that time by Krogan. And it does buy a little bit of breathing room. For the Dragons to punt this one away. Low punt's going to hit and take a drag and roll right into the hands of the intended receiver. That was Grady Howe. I'll have to recheck the number. Nope. Oh, that was he who is not on the roster.
Ah.
Yeah. That's Oliver Klein on the return for Emporia.
Ashton Bonner, Kane C in on the tackle.
Now Emporia with it, 1st down and 10 at the Pittsburg 37. And again, right up the middle. And that's good for a gain of 4 or 5. And might see a lot of that tonight,
Boy,
JJ. If
we are.
Emporia decides to dance with who brung them. Run right up the gut is about the best thing going for them.
You know what? Earlier I was saying that I think they're trying to keep the Pittsburgh offense off the field, but their defense did such a good job of balling up that play, the flex ball.
Well, they run the same offense, so they see it in practice all week. It's probably a little easier to slow it down in that case. Handoff straight ahead. And that's Rylan Kroll again. And he's out near a 1st down. They are going to have a 1st down. Gain of 6 on the play.
Now, Pittsburgh got back there immediately. I thought we were going to have a tackle for a loss, but Kroll was just able to slip right through the middle and get a good gain, really.
The Dragons are going to have to find an answer for that basically halfback dive just right up the gut. One back in the backfield is Kroll. There's the snap. Going to be a quarterback keep. And again, straight ahead, right behind the center and guard. On the left side of that line for Emporia. Picks up about 2 yards. It should be, it is 2nd down and about 6. 4 yards in the cloud of dust, man.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, whatever works. Like you said, dance with who brung in. They're doing a little Texas two-step out there right now.
Gray again under center. And a handoff straight ahead. They'll bring up 3rd and about 3.
Number 52, Mason Benson, able to make the tackle there.
Well, it's going to make for a quick game.
Yeah,
JJ, if
yeah, certainly so.
Now down around 4.5 to play in the first half. Dragons leading at 7-0. But Emporia once again driving in Dragon territory. Pittsburg High's defense on the last possession got a turnover on downs inside the red zone to keep Emporia off the board, but Spartans right back down here in Dragon territory. And there's a timeout. Pittsburgh. Dragons want to talk it over.
Now, with Emporia running the same offense as we do, the flex bone, they've really gotten away from those key plays that you typically see with the flex bone. We're not seeing the options. We haven't seen rocket toss that you typically see.
And, you know, Emporia's tried to run that option a couple times. They've gotten the pitch away once, but Dragons doing a good job on the perimeter of that defense, just getting pushed around a little bit by a bigger offensive line from Emporia. But the Dragons on the right side of the scoreboard right now as they lead at 7-0. Recovered a fumble in Emporia territory on the first drive of the game. You didn't see it, but believe me, it happened. And the Dragons able to punch it in on a 1-yard touchdown run by Riley, the tailback, to give Pittsburgh 7-0 lead. Of course, extra point good.
Riley's been a busy guy tonight.
Yeah. With as many guys playing both ways as there are on both of these teams, and I think there's many guys getting bored tonight. So the Dragons looking for a stop here on 3rd and 3. You got to guess what they're going to run, JJ? I got to guess.
Maybe something up the middle.
Maybe a halfback dive up the gut, right behind the center and left tackle. Nope, right tackle this time. Dragons stand him up.
There we go.
And they get the stop. And we'll see if this is 4-down territory for the Spartans. I would imagine it probably is.
Brings up 4th and 2.
Pinamani and Derringer in on that tackle there. I got to tell you, you know, for his first year of coaching at the high school level, Coach Goodman for Emporia, you can tell he's done a lot to change the culture already.
Yep. Much different than the first game last year. Oh, fumbled snap, and the Dragons all over it. And this one's going to get turned over on downs once again inside the red zone. And that Pittsburgh defense bows up and gets the stop. Emporia helped them out a little bit with that fumbled snap.
Big tackle there by number 90, Garrett Dillingham. Will that shift the momentum now to the Dragons' favor?
Stranger things have happened. Stranger things. 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh at the 20-yard line. And see if this Dragon offense can get something going. It's 25 yards and 6 plays on their first possession after a turnover, but have yet to put together a long sustained drive, but we're just getting started. Krogan under center. Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff, running triple option far side. Krogan steps between, splits 2 defenders. The ball's on the turf, and Emporia saying they have it as Krogan had it stripped away on the outside, and they do. It's Emporia football. Give it right back.
Definitely not the way the Dragons had it scripted. It was looking like a good play. And once again, first game. Christian Krogan, this is his first year starting varsity, but he's got a really good grasp of the offense from what Coach Latterman says. He ran the JV offense for him, so he's not coming in completely new to this. He has a really good depth of knowledge of the game.
They give the ball back to Pittsburgh?
It looks like it.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I think we played an Uno reverse.
Well, they're having to explain it. Coach Goodman out there wanting an explanation.
Coach Goodman, no stranger to this field. He played for Emporia State back in his college days.
Well, we won't hold it against him.
Well, not entirely sure what went on there. But,
Me neither.
You know, as a Dragons fan,
We'll go with it. We'll roll with it. Yeah. Oh, still our ball? No problem. Good call. Okay, so now my stat sheet is a disaster. 25. We're looking at 2nd down and 5 from the 25 now. Oh, not a fumble. All right. Krogan back to throw, going over the top, and had a man. Cortland Jones Jr. had a step, but a little bit underthrown. Unfortunately, the defensive back defending on that play didn't find the ball, and it falls harmlessly incomplete. Dragons now looking at a 3rd and 5.
I was waiting to see some of that. I know the players that they have at wide receiver. I know Kroger can get the ball down there. So when you have guys like Cortland Jones, Malachi Meadows, you throw the ball to them. Great job.
Brings up 3rd and 5 from the 25 for the Dragons. Need to just past the 30 for 1st down. Krogan under center. Man in motion. They'll hand off to the near side, trying to find the edge. No room for Cortland Jones Jr. as he's brought down in the Dragon backfield. Brings up a 4th down and long, and I believe a punting situation, and another flag after the play. It could be that words were exchanged.
They tend to happen. They tend to
words
to fly on the football field sometimes.
Unsportsmanlike against the Dragons. And a lot of penalties tonight against the purple and white.
If they're looking to get Emporia pumped up, they've certainly done it. Big energy coming from them.
Now it's 4th and forever. Dragons going to punt this one away out of their own end zone. Back to receive is Oliver Klein, standing at about the 45-yard line. Low end over end kick. Klein has it and just drilled immediately at the 35-yard line.
Malachi Meadows.
Meadows in on that one.
Wow, what a hit.
Showing off some athleticism there. Meadows, one of those threats on the outside as a receiver for the Dragons. And putting in some work there in special teams. Got his money's worth, that's for sure.
Yeah. If they get a chance, they should go pick up that guy's cleats at some point.
Meadows going to stay in the game. Looks like he's going to operate in a safety slot. Play a little center field back there for the Dragons. As Emporia comes to the line. Hand off in the backfield. Dragons almost had it. Ball's loose on the turf. And Dragons say they have it. And they do.
I think we got to play that Uno reverse card one more time now.
Yeah, no penalty on that one. And the Dragons will take over. Pending any conversations that might happen down there.
I'm not sure who got that fumble recovery. The scrum was a little too big.
Yeah.
But what a great job.
My poor stat sheet, JJ.
Yeah, I'm looking at mine.
All stats we provide are unofficial, by the way. 1st and 10 from the 39 for Pittsburgh High. Krogan leads them to the line. Durden, the lone wide receiver, to the near side. Got a man in motion. Here's the snap. Handoff Straight ahead, looks like Riley with it. And he'll plow ahead for a gain of about 2.
Yeah, Pittsburgh trying to give Emporia a little taste of their own medicine, running it right up the middle.
Riley with the carry, gaining 2 on the play, 2nd and 8.
Now, it looked like Jose Vargas was out on that play. That was probably a really good time to try to run it up the middle when the big guy's out.
Second down and 8 from the 42. Looks more like a second down and 7 to me. Quick pitch to the outside. Trying to find the corner is Jamarcus Davis. And Davis able to plow ahead to about the 45. Didn't really get around the corner. And it'll set up a third manageable, about 3rd and 4 for Pittsburgh.
I think that tells you a little bit of how fast Emporia is, too. Davis is a speedster. He can get around that corner and really make things happen, and they got to him so quick.
Third and 4 for the Dragons from the 35. They need to cross the, or I'm sorry, from the 45. They need to cross the 49 for a first down. Krogan hands off straight ahead again. It's Riley, and he looks like he has enough for the first down, even though that's not a spectacular spot on the far side. And the Dragons have gotten some short spots tonight. What do you know? An inch short, and it's going to be 4th and short for the Dragons.
What do you think? You gonna go ahead and go for it here? Call a timeout. That not bad.
Yeah, is that Dragons' last timeout? I don't know. Pittsburgh wants a timeout to talk it over. 4th and short. It looked to me from a mile away.
Sure.
I got to add that caveat to everything I say. Looked to me from a mile away like he got it by about a yard, and lo and behold, the ball's marked just short.
Yeah, I believe the Dragons still
down.
have 1 timeout left.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get my trusty binoculars out. Take a look.
Everything's from a mile away.
Yeah.
It looks like a 1.
Yeah, it's a 1.
Okay, all right.
Glad I brought those.
I'm going to bust out my bifocals.
I was talking a little bit to Coach Latimer earlier this week, just asking some guys that their running game elements, and we've seen them tonight. Malcolm Riley, Mason Derringer, Jamarcus Davis.
Well, it's a big play for the Dragons. We're under a minute to play in this first half. Pittsburgh leading 7-0. Got it 4th and short near midfield at their own 49-yard line. Krogan under center. Put a man in motion near side again, straight ahead with the back. He obviously has it. And what do you know? The officials agree out across the 50. And it's first down, Pittsburgh.
Once again, Riley right up the middle. Strong runner. That's the guy you want to give it to when you're in a situation like that.
Dragons quickly up to the line. Krogan remains in the backfield. Krogan with Riley in the backfield. Pass over the top. Has a man broken up. It's a little bit short. And again, the ball thrown a little bit behind the receiver. Allowed the defensive back to catch up. And solid coverage that time by Benjamin Collins. I believe that's who that was out there. Nope.
Grady Howe?
Sure.
Okay. Intended there for Cortland Jones Jr.
Yeah. Now the Dragons looking at a 2nd and 10, excuse me. Rolling to pass is Krogan looking downfield. Now he's going to tuck it and get what he can. He's out across the Emporia 40. And they're going to mark him down right at the 40. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 1, I believe.
So the flex punt offense is all based on you got to have your quick linemen get out there and get to the second level to block the next guy in front of them. As long as you can do that, you can have success with it. I'm not sure we've quite gotten to that point yet where they are getting out there and getting in front of the blocks and hitting that second level to bust open that option play. But I'm certain we're not going to quit trying.
No. In high school football, those first 3 games of the season, you know, every year you graduate kids, you're working new kids in the lineup, and the first week or two, it's all about just finding out who can do what.
And this Dragons team, they have a lot of new varsity starters into their starting lineup.
Nope. Third down and short now for Pittsburgh from the Emporia 40-yard line. 18 seconds left here in the first half. So whatever they're going to do, it's going to have to happen quick. They tried to put it in the air a couple of times. And another throw deep, and this one's going to be picked off. And returned across the 30, 45-40, across midfield. There's a penalty marker down maybe? No.
Okay.
And touchdown Emporia.
Wow.
And reminds me of the words of the great Larry Garman. 3 things can happen when you pass. 2 of them are bad. And the Dragons turn this one over for a big interception return touchdown for Emporia.
Now, without a doubt, that touchdown interception return was aided by a huge grab of the jersey down there by an Emporia player. But, you know, the refs, they're not going to see everything. We have the benefit of being up here and seeing the entire field, but definitely aided by that.
Rough way to end the first half for the Dragons. They led for all but the last few seconds of the first half, and then an interception and a return by Grady Howe for Emporia ties the game. Well, pending an extra point, ties the game. Joe's earning his pay tonight, I'll tell you what. He just thought it was going to be an easy ride up to Emporia.
Is there such a thing?
Yeah, and then all this technical stuff happened with computers and cameras, and now I think I see a bead of sweat on his forehead. It's
just dab it off.
It's a tough road to hoe up here with all this technology.
Facility-wise, though, you couldn't ask for anything better.
No,
this is fantastic.
wonderful. Yeah, I'll take an MIAA press box every week. That'd be fine.
Definitely.
So the Spartans with a chance to tie the game after trailing 7-0 for most of the first half. And they try the old give right up the gut, and it's no good. And the score, 7-6 at the half. Dragons hanging on by the slimmest of margins, but they do lead it here at the half. We'll step away for a quick break. When we come back, a little halftime show action, recap some of the stuff that happened in the first half, talk about the season coming up ahead, our broadcast schedule, and more. All that coming up right after this break. Dragons lead it 7-6 over the Emporia Spartans. You're watching Purple Dragon football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GerardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
It's The Rush. Every touchdown, basket, goal, or lap is filled with excitement. It's why we love the game. It's why we play the game. It's also why we bet on the game. The Rush is why we need a plan to bet responsibly and not lose more than we can afford. Problem sports gambling can ruin the love we have for sports. So know when enough is enough. Know when the game is playing you. Contact 1-800-GAMBLER for help today.
From the phone call to the service call, Roto-Rooter is there with fast and reliable sewer and drain service. From repair and replacement to septic and grease trap pumping, Roto-Rooter is here for you. With video inspections, Roto-Rooter can identify the exact issue to get the repair done quickly and correctly. Complete sewer line repairs or replacements, Roto-Rooter has you covered. Serving Crawford, Bourbon, and Cherokee counties, Roto-Rooter, 620-231-5630.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Having the right financial partner can make all the difference. Community National Bank and Trust believes banking should do more than just hold your money. We support your goals, simplify your day-to-day, and give you room to grow with quality banking services. Withdraw, transfer, invest, apply for loans, and talk with our banking professionals online, over the phone, or in person. Let Community National Bank and Trust help you build a banking experience that works for you. Community National Bank and Trust, equal housing lender and member FDIC.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance. Our whole vision of becoming the 4-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Hold on. It's monstrous.
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
I was raised in a small town, and there was a lot of people who took time to invest in me. And so when we decided to open up our offices, we want to make sure that we're pouring back into the community that's giving to us. We care. We want to be involved. We want to have a passion for what you have a passion for. We want to be able to give back. And that's the foundation. That's why we're more than just insurance.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Our whole vision of becoming the 4-state agency was because we want to be able to grow with our clients, whether they have a lake house in Oklahoma, whether they're starting a business and expanding into Arkansas. We want to make sure that they're taken care of, whether it's home, auto, financial services, or even life insurance. We want to walk through the stages of life with our clients. That's the biggest part. That's what makes us different.
Chicken Annie's of Girard is something to crow about. Their family-style restaurant continues a Southeast Kansas tradition with their specialty fried chicken, plus famous homemade onion rings, chicken and noodles, and so much more. And of course, their delicious homemade pies. Dine in or carry out available. Chicken Annie's of Girard has the best value, flavor, and service in the area. Stop in soon or call for catering. 620-724-4090.
You've heard go big or go home. At Big Iron Auctions, you can go big from home. With thousands of pieces of equipment, active auctions, bidding at your convenience, and an easy-to-use site, BigIronAuctions.com can help you grow big. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 to see how Big Iron Auctions can help grow your operation. Bid now, list now at BigIronAuctions.com. Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
Welcome back to Welch Field here in Emporia, Kansas for tonight's season opener. And at the half, the Purple Dragons leading the Emporia Spartans by the slimmest of margins, 7-6. And it all came down to a failed two-point conversion by Emporia. But both of these teams running the same offense against each other, JJ, and turnovers really have been the story of this first half.
Yeah. You know, and one thing that I've noticed, and I think I've already said this too, but especially on Emporia's side, you're not seeing the outside runs that you see so commonly with the Flexbone. They're really trying to bang up on that inside. They've had a lot of success as far as at least running the clock. It doesn't show on the scoreboard, but we're also not looking at a game like we saw last year where Emporia came to Pittsburg and the Dragons are up 42-0 at half. It's a completely different vibe.
Well, you talked about the revenge factor early on, and for a team that was down 42-0 last year at the half, it's more of the respect factor.
Yeah.
And Emporia certainly put up a much more respectable performance here tonight against the Dragons, as Pittsburgh's had a real hard time getting anything going offensively. They've had a fumble, interception return for a touchdown, and so a lot of times when you talk to coaches, they aren't as concerned about the opponent as they are about their own mistakes, and so far tonight that's been hurting the Dragons.
Yeah, and when you get down to a one-point game, it's going to come down to who makes the fewest mistakes. If the game keeps going like this, that's what it's going to come down to.
I don't know what that means. Emporia band down there on the field right now entertaining the crowd. And they had a entire army of tiny cheerleaders out there early tonight, so they're pulling out all the home field stops tonight, all the gamesmanship the Purple Dragons can handle. And so far it's been a heck of a game here in the first half, and if you're Coach Latimer in that locker room talking to your team, getting them ready for the second half, JJ, what are you going to say?
You know, knowing Coach Lat, he's being pretty animated right now. He's using his outdoor voice inside, I guarantee you. But I think what you're going to see, what you typically see from a Latimer coach team, is they're going to come out with a renewed vigor. As Coach, want to talk about Coach Garman. Coach Garman, he would say, I want to see you come back out here with a renewed vigor. And I think if we're going to use Coach Garman terms, that's what we're going to see from the Dragons. Now, what they have to deal with is momentum a little bit, because Emporia is trying to steal that away. They walked off with the last score, so they currently have it. Let's see where it goes from there.
All right, let's take another break. We'll come back with a little more GN Bank halftime show. Dragons leading it by 1 at the break over the Emporia Spartans, 7-6. You're watching Purple Dragon football on Pittsburg Sports Live.
Nothing says luxury like a Lincoln. Take advantage of 0% financing for 66 months right now on the all-new Lincoln Navigator. Come see us today at Mike Carpino Family of Ford Lincoln Dealerships, Columbus, Parsons, Pittsburgh.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Chicken Annie's Girard. When you're facing a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Catering and carry out from Chicken Annie's Girard. When an onion ring craving is too much to bear, when the family's coming over and you weren't aware, it's Chicken Annie's Girard to the rescue. When there's 20, 30, 100 to feed, you need Chicken Annie's Girard indeed. A heroic value, superb flavor. When there's a chicken emergency, there's only one hero. Chicken Annie's Girard.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Welcome back to Welch Stadium in Emporia, America. The Dragons. There, it's last year, rearing its ugly head. Dragons leading the Emporia Spartans 7-6 at the half. Turnovers have been the story of the first half. Emporia fumbled on their first possession of the game. Dragons recovered in Emporia territory, went 25 yards in 6 plays. And Riley punched in the touchdown for the Dragons to give them a 7-0 lead. And then in the waning seconds of the first half, pass was picked off from Christian Krogan and returned for a touchdown by Oliver Klein for Emporia. I have to keep looking at your roster because he's not on the regular roster.
Okay,
There's about 10 guys, all of them who start, that aren't on the roster. And so
you don't have the one player from Emporia
right, I don't
memorized yet.
I don't have it memorized, all the guys I had to handwrite into the roster. But Dragons leading at 7-6 here at the half, and we talked about trying to clean up the mistakes in the second half, and a lot of young players out there on the field right now, and Coach Latimer and his staff have been trying to get them up and running. What are some of the activities they've been doing in this offseason, JJ, to get them ready for kickoff here tonight in Emporia?
They attended and apparently had a really good camp at our scrimmage against Webb City. Of course, a powerhouse in the region. And they had a really good scrimmage against them. Aside from that, though, they had a camp at Washburn, and they did several of those. They also went to Lewisburg. And then their team camps or 7-on-7s that they had, they're prepared. I definitely feel like there's no lack of preparation. These guys have been really busy over the summer. Of course, their weightlifting and their conditioning that they've done, that doesn't seem to have been a factor tonight. Everyone seems like they still have plenty of energy out there. It's just coming down to Emporia's done such a good job of eating up clock. And the few possessions that we've had, they've capitalized on turnovers and on mistakes.
And the Dragons will receive the kick. They won the toss and deferred before the game. I know you didn't see that. And so Pittsburgh will have the ball to start the second half, clinging on to a 1-point lead here at the break. And, that deep pass that was picked off, the time was winding down. Dragons had to, if they were going to go for it, they had to go for it right there. And just a good play defensively, and maybe some extra blocking on the return. And so you think that if there had been ample time on the clock, the Dragons probably would not have thrown that pass.
Right.
And we wouldn't be looking at this situation here. But, there was probably a very frank and earnest conversation in the locker room at halftime. And now the Dragon offense will get a chance to come out here and set things right to start this third quarter. Durden back to return in the middle. Kick low, angling, will take a hop. It's fielded by Corday Haynes. And he'll bring it up across the 30 and brought down at the 32. Late flag coming in after the play. Thrown from the backside by the referee, and we'll see what it's all about here in just a second.
I didn't see what happened on that for sure.
Holding against the Dragons.
But that's what I was going to guess.
Well, Dragons have definitely been on the wrong side of the penalty column tonight with Emporia.
Probably also part of that discussion that we were talking about during halftime.
That Frank and Ernest discussion.
Yeah, Frank and Ernest both were in there. They had a discussion with them.
Yeah. Got to break my stat sheet back out here.
Looks like Emporia lining up this defense without Jose Vargas.
1st and 10 for the Dragons from the 15. Going against the Vargas-less defense for Emporia. Krogan under center. He's going to keep this one off of the left side. Tries to get behind his guard and tackle. And not a lot of hay to make over there as he picks up 2, maybe, let's call it 3 yards on first down. We'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, the offensive line just not getting quite the push they need to run those plays like that. Even without Emporia's big guy in there, the other players that they have, they're filling that role just fine.
Dragons break the huddle, 11-17 to play third quarter. Pittsburgh leading 7-6 over Emporia. Grogan under center, Riley the back in the backfield behind him. And now a whistle, delay a game penalty against the Dragons, so that's a new one. And coaches over there on the Pittsburgh side not very happy about that. We'll back the Dragons up to about the 13-yard line and set up a 2nd down and 12. And in motion, Krogan with it. Roland slips a little bit in the backfield, brought down almost immediately.
Is that 16?
No, it's number 36. And that's Aiden Correas. Or it's Mason Watts, depending upon. I'm going to say it's Mason Watts because he's a senior.
There you go, Mason. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I have noticed on this roster list there's several
identical numbers and missing numbers. And, yeah, go back to roster school. 3rd down and 10 now from about the 15. Toss to the outside. And not a lot of running room out there for Jones Jr. And that's going to bring up 4th down and long for Pittsburgh and punting unit coming out.
That's where your offensive line and your B-backs come into play. You need them to get out there and make those blocks to break those plays open like that. It's not happening right now.
So about a 4-yard game. They needed a lot more than that. Needed 12. Sets up a 4th down and 8 for the for the Dragons. Every time I do that, you need a cattle prod to zap me. Short end over end kick. It's going to take a Dragon bounce out to about the 40-yard line.
You know, I'm not.
Call it a net of about 30 on that punt.
I'm not sure that one of the Emporia players didn't get at least part of a finger on that ball the way it came off like that.
You'd hope so, but looked like it. So really good field position again for the Spartans to start this drive in Dragon territory at the 40-yard line. (9:11) left to play in the third quarter. Pittsburgh leading Emporia 7-6. Stalled out on their first drive of the first half. Now the Emporia offense out on the field. Gray hands off straight ahead, and a little misdirection this time, and it's going to be a walk-in touchdown for Ryland Kroll.
Big run for Kroll once again. They had him bottled up for a second. They just couldn't get the hands on him to bring him down. The offensive line really did a good job of pushing our defensive line and really pretty much everyone else back.
40-yard touchdown for Kroll. And just like that, first play from scrimmage, Emporia strikes 40 yards on the ground to take a 12-7 lead. Looks like they're going for 2 here. Gray under center, fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself as they drive ahead. And kind of a half tush push. This is offensive lineman push him into the end zone. And it's 14-7 now, Emporia.
Coach Goodman really, he's getting his boys moving. He's put it on to them so they can pull this off, and so far they are. They're definitely winning the battle at the line of scrimmage at this point.
Games are won and lost in the trenches. Dragons having a rough time up front tonight. against Emporia. And for Pittsburg High, it's not a very good sign because you're going to face a lot of teams that are going to have a size advantage over you this season if you're Pittsburgh. And you look at their schedule coming up, Shawnee Mission South, Topeka, lots of teams are going to have size advantage on you. Smithville, Missouri, they're no pushovers.
No.
And then even your local teams, Fort Scott, Chanute, they're going to have some size. So Dragons got to get this one sorted out. And a lot of time left to play. 9 minutes left to play, third quarter. Pittsburgh trailing at 14-7, but this Dragon offense is going to have to find an answer. Daniel Gardner kicks it away. Dragons going to let this one bounce into the end zone for the touchback. Brings it out to the 20, first down and 10 for Pittsburgh from there.
Some new guys checking in there for Pittsburgh.
Two wide receivers to the near side, Krogan under center. Riley in the backfield behind him. They'll put a man in motion near side, handoff straight ahead to Riley. He's got a lane, cuts it back against the grain. He's out across the 30, has a first down out to the 34-yard line.
Good job by the Pittsburgh offense. Their offensive linemen were getting downfield on that. They were hitting second levels. They were making the blocks and able to make a hole for Riley to get through and pick up a fantastic gain.
Call it a gain of 14 on first down for Riley. By far the best running play of the night for the Dragons. Again, two wide receivers to the near side. Krogan with the snap again. Handoff straight ahead for Riley. He's met in the backfield, but able to keep those legs churning. Plows ahead for a gain of about 2 to the 36. It'll bring up a second down and 8.
At this point, positive yardage is positive yardage. It's not a turnover. It's not a penalty. We're heading the right direction. Let's keep it going that way and put it in for 6.
Second down and 8 for the Dragons from the 36. Meadows, the wide receiver, near side. There's the snap and run straight ahead by Riley again. And good yardage out across the 40 to about the 42. It's going to bring up third down and 2.
Yeah, you can see some of the guys with Pittsburgh. They're moving their hands around. They're saying, hey, let's keep this defense back on their heels. Let's keep picking up this positive yardage. So I think we may see a little quicker tempo from the Dragons.
Yeah, delay of game penalty pretty much killed their last drive, and so they're getting in and out of the huddle much faster on this possession. 3 wide this time for Pittsburgh. Again, Riley the lone back in the backfield. Timeout Emporia. I want to talk it over. You get the feeling that coaching staff for Emporia, well, they didn't like how everybody was lined up, obviously. Taking this defensive timeout right now, but Pittsburgh's starting to get a little bit of momentum, finding some things that work. And you got to think if they get that run game going, JJ, get those defensive backs creeping up to the line a little bit, maybe then they can open up something for Meadows or Durden over the top or Jones Jr.
And that's kind of what I was looking at here as when they called the timeout. They were pushed up a little more close to man, and I really think with the speed that we have at wide receiver, most guys, I think we're going to be able to get open and take the cap off and throw it for a big gain, if not a touchdown on that.
Yeah, I think a little bit of it is Krogan probably just needs to make the read and release the ball a little bit quicker. That way he doesn't have to throw it as far, and he's not underthrowing his receivers. As soon as they get a step, seems like that ball needs to come out a little bit quicker so it's not as long of a throw.
Sure. And it's got to be said, too, it's his first start as a varsity quarterback. So
I'm not to say that I could complete a single one of those passes. Everything looks better from up here, I'll tell you what. Dragons back to the line, looking at a 3rd down and 3 from the 42. Krogan under center, 2 wide to the near side. Riley alone in the backfield. Handoff again to Riley across the 45, approaching midfield, and keeps the legs churning below the whistle. There it is at midfield. 7 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Dragons trailing 14-7, but they do have a 1st down at midfield. Offense has been churning, and there's a Pittsburgh player down at about the 45-yard line. Looks like a cramp. And it is. They're going to work it out. I'm not a fan of the cramp. I don't.
You don't like them?
No, I didn't appreciate it. That's not my favorite part of athletics was the cramp.
No, I still get them.
It's not my favorite part of going to bed at night.
No, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Sometimes I just hop out of bed and I'm limping around the house for a minute.
Right. They just wake you up in the middle of the night. Like, hey, bud, you're old.
There we go. He's back up and running off the field now.
I got too much paperwork in here. That's Kane C. Linebacker, also plays on the offensive line for the Dragons, senior. Good to see him get up and jog off.
Now, Kane was one of the guys that had just come in on this new offensive set, and they've been making some really good progress. So let's see how we do now.
We're going to see if he was the catalyst for all that. Yeah.
The canalist?
Catalyst. That's a real word. It's a word.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see.
Wordplay.
Sorry, I'm slow. I just woke up. 3 wide this time for the Dragons. Riley alone in the backfield once again behind Krogan. Here's the snap. Quick pitch. Barely got it away. Riley makes a man miss in the backfield. Spins out of a tackle and fights forward to about the 46-yard line. And he made some chicken salad there. Wasn't much going on. And the Dragons now with it about 2nd and 6 from, we'll call it the 46-yard line of Emporia.
I don't know how their defensive line was able to get through so quick, but he about blew it up in the backfield. Thankfully, Malcolm Riley able to take that ball and get a little something positive out of something that looked like it wasn't going to end too well for us.
So 2nd down at 6 from the 46. Again, 3 wide, and the handoff fumbled. Ball's on the ground, but Riley, oh no, it wasn't Riley, but a Purple Dragon able to jump on top of it. I think that was Dawson Mooney.
Yep.
Able to get on top of it, save the possession for the Dragons, but now 3rd down and 6 from the 46. And really good penetration up the middle by that Emporia defense.
Jose Vargas on that one again.
3rd and 6. Big play here for Pittsburgh if they want to get back into this one. They'll fake the handoff to Riley. Quick pitch to the outside. It's wide open. Off to the races is Christian Krogan. Or I'm sorry, that's not Christian Krogan. That's Mason Derringer. And he's hit hard. Comes up slow. Now, on all fours is, I didn't see the end of that hit and why he's as dinged up as he is. But we'll see. We have a flag?
Well, no, but we do have a second member of the Dragons.
Oh, dinged up?
Yeah, a little dinged up there.
Training staff. Taking a look at Derringer, and now, man, that's a shame because that was a good-looking option play there.
Yeah.
A lot of running room for Derringer.
And that developed exactly how you draw it up. You had all your guys getting out to the second level, opening up and making the defense commit to the quarterback so he can make that pitch out and bring it up like the way Derringer did. Great run.
Call it a gain of 39 on the play for Derringer. Dragons in business now, 1st and goal at the Emporia 7. 1 wide receiver, 2 tight ends in this set for Pittsburgh. They'll put a man in motion. Here's the snap. Straight ahead with Riley. Fights off a couple tackles. He needed his offensive lineman to help maul him into the end zone, but he didn't have any help there. He ended up trying to outpower 3 defenders, and he gets the ball all the way down to the 1-yard line, 2nd and goal from the 1.
He just kept his legs churning and plowing through defenders. That's exactly what you want to see from your running back.
Malcolm Riley has really been running tough on this drive for the Dragons. Down to 4:10 to play, 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh could tie it here with a touchdown and an extra point. Krogan keeping it himself across the line and into the end zone. Touchdown, Dragons. 4 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Pittsburgh back within 1. Pending this extra point.
Sounds like Emporia fans aren't super happy about something, but
well,
it's all right.
You know. I think most of us were comfortable with that.
I feel good about it.
I've been good about it for most of my life. The kick is up and good, and the Dragons have tied it up with 4 minutes straight up left to play in the 3rd quarter. 0-0. As all the momentum swung to Emporia at the end of that 2nd quarter on an interception return for a touchdown. Then the Dragons couldn't get anything going on their first drive, but the defense held. Offense came back out on the field and basically ran that option to perfection. Got down inside the red zone, able to punch it in and tie this one up.
You know, when you have the flex bone working the way they had it there, it's almost impossible to stop.
Right. And I watched a documentary the other night on my favorite offense, which is the wishbone. Not too different.
Right.
But they're intended to put pressure on every part of your defense and find the weak spot and keep attacking it. We'll see if the Dragons have found something there and if they're able to keep exploiting it.
Hey, and shout out real quick to Armando Rueda, the kicker. He's new to football. This, I believe, is his first year.
Oh, that's right. Came over from the soccer team.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. The football team.
Yes.
Yes. I've never been a soccer fan, but I do watch Ted Lasso.
It looks exhausting. Soccer does.
It does look exhausting.
A lot of running.
A lot of pretending you're hurt.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's like basketball, too.
Yeah,
NBA, if
that's
you watch
right,
that.
Right. So if LeBron's basketball career doesn't work out, short kick and it hit the ground at the 10 and fielded right there, and a nice little seam and a nifty move out to midfield. A great return that time for Emporia, and I'm going to try and see this number from a mile away. It's black numbers on red jerseys, as you can see on your screen, so it gets a little tricky.
But the Emporia's kick return team set that up fantastic.
I'm going to say that was Cohen Bloomquist.
I believe
6
you're right.
foot junior. On the return out to the Pittsburgh 48. So great field position for Emporia to start this drive. 3:52 to play, 3rd quarter. And another penalty against the Dragons as the hard count got them to jump once again.
Obviously a really good hard count, too, because
it's got
majority
several
of our line.
times. Yeah. Got everybody.
Yeah.
So after the free 5 yards, 1st down and 5 for Emporia. From the Pittsburgh 43, and there again is that run right up the gut, and it's not getting the same return on investment that it was getting in the first half. So I'm sure that was a topic of conversation during halftime, was how we're going to slow that down.
Yeah. And at this point, you have to wonder a little bit: are they going to try to soften them up with those inside runs and then bounce one outside? And if so, that's where your defensive ends on Pittsburgh on the defense are really going to try to bottle that back up and push it back towards the inside.
I mean, it's also how aggressive of a tackler are your corners.
Right. Yeah, they have to get after it if they get outside that.
There are some corners that love to tackle, and then there are others that are like a wet paper bag. Emporia back up at the line again. Once again, we're right up the middle. This time a little bit of a counter. And up to about the 39-yard line. Whoa, they only gave him 1 on that play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3. I was thinking it was going to be more 3rd and 1.
Pinamani in on the tackle there for the Dragons.
Another attempt straight up the gut, and they're going to be close to it. They're going to be close to the first down with this one. Couldn't tell if Gray handed it off or kept it himself. I think he handed it off. Gave it to Crowell. I pronounced it Kroll because I'm from Pittsburgh, but it's actually pronounced Crowell.
Tomato.
Yeah. As you might imagine, these rosters also don't have a pronunciation. So 4th down and 1, Emporia going for it here near midfield at about the 39-yard line. And that handoff hit in the backfield, able to fight through, but the Dragon defense holds and stops them for a loss.
Max Bush in there on the tackle for him, as well as number 77, Parker Pinamani. Almost called him by his dad's name.
A gain of 1. That was Parker Seidel. Tanner Seidel, senior, and may have been his first carry of the game. And the Dragons drop him for a loss. Seidel will stay in and play defensive back for Emporia as the Dragon offense takes the field, 1st and 10 at their own 42.
That's what you want as the Dragons there. A little momentum now coming back. Let's see what happens.
They're going to go handoff straight ahead again, this time with Riley. And he's brought down for no gain or very, very short gain.
Yeah, that Emporia State defense. Emporia State. Here I am looking.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, boys. You're in college now.
Yeah.
Emporia defensive line really making it tough for that Dragon offensive line and, the Dragon running backs.
Under a minute to play, 3rd quarter, tied at 14 here in Emporia. I know our score bug's a little off. We'll get that corrected here real quick. But we are tied at 14. The Dragons tied it up on their last offensive possession. This one, I think the quarterback's arm got hit as Krogan dropped back to pass. I think when he was doing his follow-through, I think he hit forearms with somebody. It caused the ball to fall way short. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and long for the Dragons from the 42.
Yeah, Derringer tried to turn the corner on it and get back to it. Nearly did.
So now 3rd down and 9 for the Dragons from the 43. Krogan under center. They'll put a man in motion the far side. Little hesitation. Half face mask. Krogan fighting ahead. He's across the 50 and finally brought down, and they're not getting a great spot on that, but there's a penalty coming in late. Boy, they must really be monitoring the verbiage tonight down on the field. That one's against Emporia, personal foul. And I think that both of these personal foul penalties have occurred after the defense made a big play and words were exchanged and then flags fly.
Yeah, and that could be just more of an emphasis on the crews around the stadium.
Yeah, maybe.
Saying, let's cut down on that. You see it even in the NFL. Like they are having more of an emphasis in this.
Well, Coach Goodman out getting an explanation of the only penalty I think so far tonight called against Emporia. He's still out on the field at about the 40.
I think he's maybe saying something like, hey, hey, dude.
Better not be using bad words.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more of a sticks and stones kind of guy.
Yeah.
But works out in the Dragons' favor, though. Sets them up first down and 10 at the Emporia 34. So from a 3rd and 9 to a 1st and 10. Krogan under center. Hand off to Riley, trying to fight through a tackle. He just, I mean, as soon as he had the ball, he encountered contact and had to fight through it. As that Pittsburgh offensive line is just giving up quite a bit of penetration, and now Riley favoring that right ankle a little bit. He may need to come out of the game. I'm not sure anybody sees it.
There we go.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Tied at 14. We'll step away for a quick break, and we'll be back for 4th quarter action. Dragons and the Spartans all tied up, headed for the 4th. You're watching Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
Welcome back to Welchfield and Emporia. I can't follow simple instructions. After 3 quarters, we're tied at 14 as the Dragons encountering a very different Emporia Spartan team than they met last year in Pittsburgh. And JJ mentioned earlier the score of that game was 42-0 Dragons at the half. This one 14-all after 3. Dragons with the ball, 2nd down and about 7. From the Emporia 32. Morgan with it. Caught in the backfield and dropped. Krogan had nowhere to go and just tried to string it out towards the sideline and find a crease. Wasn't able to. And that'll bring up, call it 3rd down and 7. 3rd down and 6 from the 31.
Yeah, your backs were out there able to get the blocks, but unfortunately, Emporia was just able to shed those blocks and get up and make the tackle.
Big 3rd down here for the Dragons. They converted after a personal foul penalty on their last 3rd down and long. Krogan under center, fakes the handoff the wrong way to Riley. A little bit of a busted play. Krogan going to try and do something with his feet. Rounds the corner, across 25, and out of bounds. Close to the 20-yard line. That'll be enough for a Pittsburgh 1st down.
Yeah, I imagine his surprise when he turns around and
nobody's there.
No one's there.
Yeah.
It happens.
I'm going to run for my life now. Yeah.
As far as busted plays go, that's the kind you want to see.
How you want them to work out every time. I'll take a 9-yard gain for 1st down, no problem. Call it a gain of 10 on the play. Sets up a 1st down and 10 for the Dragons. From the Spartan 22. Jones, lone wide receiver to the far side. Two tight ends. They'll put a man in motion. Here's the snap. Krogan back to pass. Has a tight end wide open over the middle. There's the catch and the touchdown. That looked like Derringer. See the number from here. Nope. Never mind. That was Meadows. Malachi Meadows on the catch. Sorry, Rain. Maybe we get a sponsor to buy me some glasses. Meadows with wide open over the middle. And Krogan able to hit him for the touchdown, and the Dragons take the 20-14 lead pending this extra point. Pending this penalty kick. It's taking a while to develop. High snap, kick is up, and it's good. Dragons by 7, 21-14 over the Emporia Spartans. It's been a hard-fought affair, but Pittsburgh's starting to try and take control again here in this fourth quarter. 11 minutes to play, Dragons by 7. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. You're watching Purple Dragon Football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
How is it so fast?
With Crawcan's multi-gig internet, you can experience monstrous speeds for every device in your home or business at the same time for a low, no-nonsense price.
Today we're going to do an experiment to see just how fast Crawcan's multi-gig internet is. In your email, you'll find 2 links. When I say go, click on the first link to download the 500 gigabyte test file. Go! Okay, now when I say go, click on the second link in your email to upload the file. Go! I guess it really does eclipse all other internet.
Release the Crawcan. Monstrous multi-gig speeds for a low, no-nonsense price.
Welcome back to Welch Stadium here in Emporia. Dragons just took a 21-14 lead over the Emporia Spartans after a 21-yard touchdown pass from Christian Krogan to Malachi Meadows to give the Dragons a 7-point lead here in this fourth quarter. Converted a couple big third downs along the way, and the Dragons back in front by 7 over a very improved and scrappy Emporia team. Return out to the 20-yard line and then cut down. Oliver Fine on the return, and the Dragons, that looked like that was Landon Southard on the tackle in coverage for Pittsburgh. First down and 10 for Emporia from their own 20.
Now I wonder if we're going to see Emporia pick up the pace just a little bit here, or with 11 minutes left, are they still okay with slow movement here?
Might see that option go outside a couple more times. Again, they'll stay conservative with the straight ahead run, halfback dive. No, Gray kept it and picked up about 3 yards. Brings up a second down and 7 at the Emporia 23.
Looks like Dawson Hall was able to squirt through between the linemen there and make that tackle for the Dragons.
Clock runs now under 10 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the game. Gray brings them up to the line. One wide receiver near side. Again with the halfback dive up the gut. Dragons stop this one for a loss of 1.
Dawson Hall again. Great penetration this time by the Dragons. They're trying to shut down that run up the middle. So far this drive, they're able to do it.
Brings up a third down and 8. This is a generous spot. We'll call it a third down and 7 for Emporia. Gray under center again, one wide receiver to the near side. This time they run the end around. Oh, my goodness. Right there to make the tackle is Garrett Dillingham for the Dragons, and that was a big play by the defensive end.
Possible hit of the game there?
It is a pop. We'll just go ahead. Let's just do it.
Make it official?
You know what? What the heck? Let's do everything you want to do. We'll call that our hit of the game. Our hit of the game is brought to you by Vietti Auto Body and Alignment in Pittsburgh on the corner of 4th and Joplin since 1948. Vietti is Pittsburgh's authorized dealer for Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Uniroyal tires. Plus, they've been in the area's top collision repair shop for decades. Schedule your appointment by calling Vietti Auto Body and Alignment, 620-231-6230. And we have a Dragon down there on the field right now, and I think it is Dillingham.
Yeah.
And he made a big play. You hope he didn't cause himself to cramp up on the celebration. It's just.
I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Dillingham also, he's the Dragons' biggest player that they have, at least height to weight. He's 6'3", 220 pounds.
Soaking wet. Yeah, it's and that lets you know if that's your biggest player that you are a little bit undersized, especially in Class 5A in Kansas, because the Dragons are going to have to play some much bigger, physically bigger opponents this year as they move through their schedule. You look at it, and it's not an easy schedule.
No, it's not. But that's why they run the flex bone. It's going to help it open up a little more. They use their athleticism rather than their size to move the ball forward.
Yep. And that's flex bone, wishbone, all of those offenses are designed to give a smaller, quicker team an advantage.
Yeah.
And at times it's looked rough tonight offensively for the Dragons, but other times it's looked great, and it's first game of the year.
There you go.
That's how they all go, Flashes of brilliance.
That's how people describe me.
Yeah.
Very short flashes.
Like, don't blink. Yeah. So Emporia is set to punt this one away. Back to receive for the purple and white, Cortland Jones Jr. And it's a high knuckling punt. Jones mishandles it. It's on the rug. And I think Pittsburgh able to get on top of it. A lot of white jerseys down there around that ball. But Jones kind of needed to take another step forward on that one. Leaned out, tried to catch it with his hands, and just lost it.
Yeah, it looks like Derringer made the recovery there.
Yep. So fortunate for the Dragons that they're able to get on top of that one and maintain possession. As the defense held, forced Emporia to punt it away. And they were able to avoid the special teams mishap. And they'll have it 1st and 10 in Emporia territory at the 47. Rogan under center. Takes the snap. Option far side. Pitches it out. Derringer with it. Cuts it back against the grain. Spinning out of a tackle. Now gang tackled, but his teammates push him forward for another yard or two. And so a good pick up there on 2nd down. Sets the Dragons up with a 3rd down and short. It looks like it'll be at about the 38. And again, we got some cramping going on down there. Gotta stay hydrated. If you guys plan on taking the stairs back down to the car, I think y'all need to drink a bottle of water before we go.
That's why the good Lord invented elevators, and we have one here.
That's right.
Thank you.
We got 11 MIAA press box. Take full advantage of the elevator.
Derringer was able to pick up a block on the outside that really busted that play open. He was able to cut back inside and pick up some big yardage because of that block. That's what this offense is based on and all about.
And really good vision, too, to see that cutback lane. And I can't see the number of the guy who's down right now, or I'd tell you. There we go. That was Cole Hayden, tight end, senior, 6'2", 225.
Coach Latimer says he expects big things out of Cole this year, so.
Cole heads to the sideline to drink a big gulp, and he'll hopefully be back in this one. Dragons looking at a second down and a long 2 at about the 39. And again, is this Derringer again? Nope, it's Riley breaking loose, and he's down to about the 15-yard line. It'll be enough for a Pittsburgh first down and more, and sets the Dragons up 1st and 10 from the 15.
I love what I saw down here way down the field with Danny Durden. He's got his guy locked up, and he's still blocking the entire time. He's not looking to see where the ball's at. He's just doing his job. Great job by Danny Durden.
Call it a gain of 24 on the play. Pittsburgh looking to try and put this one out of reach as we're running out of time here in this fourth quarter. 7.5 left to play. And again, right up the gut with Riley. And this time, Emporia's defense stops him for no gain. But for the Dragons, that clock is your 12th man, and you want to keep it moving.
Yeah, if your defense can hold strong like they did in the last series, things are looking real good for the Dragons. Keep that clock going. Try to get a couple more first downs. And, of course, if you get a chance, why not? Go ahead and score.
While you're at it. Grogan under center. Riley in the backfield behind him. Meadows, the lone wide receiver, to the near side. Quick pitch to the outside, and nowhere to go. And stop for a loss. That was Cortland Jones Jr. coming from his, I don't know, you call it a wingback spot?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sure. And now 3rd and long for the Dragons. Pushes them back to the, I'll call it the 21. Loss of 6 on the play.
Yeah, Emporia was able to sniff that out real quick. As soon as the ball was snapped, they had guys across the line and making an impact there.
Call it 3rd and 17. Handoff straight ahead. Riley, and the Dragons being pretty conservative there on 3rd down. This is 4-down territory for Pittsburgh.
Certainly.
Moves the ball up to the 18, call it a gain of 3 for Riley. So call it 3rd and 14 now, or 4th and 14, excuse me, for the Dragons. You got something in the playbook for 4th and 14, JJ?
I'm going to go home or go big or go home. I say go home first.
I'm going to go home.
Yeah, I'm going to go home.
Honesty, that's what we're paying you for. And a timeout on the field. I didn't see who called it.
I think it might have been Pittsburgh. I see Rueda out there getting stretched out and ready to maybe attempt a field goal.
Well, Dragons hung on to a 1-point lead for most of the first half. Then Emporia with an interception return for a touchdown, about an 80-yard interception return for a touchdown at the end of the second quarter, took a 13-7 lead into the break. But since then, the Dragons have really solidified that interior defense, and the option has looked better at times offensively for Pittsburgh High, and really not to take anything away from Emporia, but you knew they were going to have to play an almost mistake-free game here tonight.
Right.
And just a couple of missed reads on the option, and Pittsburgh able to make them pay. Dragons now with a 7-point lead, looking to extend it to 10 here with a field goal attempt. Probably about a 30-yarder. 35-yarder. Bad snap. Hold is good. The kick is good. And that holder may need to ice his hand tonight after that one, because that ball was flat sideways on the turf. He was able to get it up just enough to get the kick away. And nice kick, more creative and stick-to-itive hold for the Dragons. But they execute, and they lead it now 24-14. A 10-point lead, 5 minutes on the clock here in this fourth quarter.
Boy, I have a tough one. Rueda.
Talking
there we
is
go.
so hard sometimes.
No one said I was going to have to talk.
Yeah.
Rueda, 100% on the year. PATs on his field goal so far. Way to open up the year, kid.
I do want to warn you about the announcer's curse. And when you mention that somebody is undefeated or is yet to miss a field goal or is doing good or looks healthy,
True.
Yeah. Just got to use your powers for good.
That's true.
Yeah. Crowd kind of thinning out a little bit here in Emporia. They had a pretty good crowd to start the game tonight.
Sure did. And with 5 minutes left, you got to wonder: are they going to try to pop it outside, or are they going to keep it? Try to grind it out.
A little trickeration. Beautiful night for football. Mid-50s here in Emporia. A little bit hazy. Don't know where that's coming from. Maybe Canada. And should be the remains of a conifer forest. But a beautiful night for football here in eastern Kansas. Rada with the kickoff. Fielded cleanly at about the 10-yard line. Nice gap. And pretty good return out to the 40-yard line. And that's
Carday Hayes on the tackle. He's able to keep his feet there. They tried everything they could to try to juke him out, but he was able to keep his feet and make the tackle and save him a touchdown.
That was Oliver Klein on the return, one of the players who didn't make the roster.
Or maybe after this game he will.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Looks like you're going to make it, kid. We'll go ahead and put your name on the roster. We'll even give you your own number.
Pittsburgh trying to get their fans fired up.
Quick pitch to the outside. There it is. And Dragons. I don't know. There's a lot of speed on the perimeter of that Pittsburgh defense. I don't know that pitching it outside is necessarily the best way to attack that group. Emporia's had a lot of success tonight, kind of going right up the gut at them. But they don't have time for that. And at this point, we got 4.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they're going to have to get some bigger chunks here offensively as it sets up a 2nd down and 7.
Quick tempo.
From about the 45, another run straight ahead. This time, Gray keeps it himself. Gray, the 6-foot, 180-pound junior quarterback for Emporia, and he gets it out to about midfield. They'll set up a 3rd down and 2. And straight up the gut goes Emporia, and they're going to have enough for the 1st down and more as the Dragons finally pull down the ball carrier.
Not exactly sure who made the first contact on that, but I did see Dawson Hall fly over the top of the pile and finally bring him down at the very end, so we'll give that to Dawson.
Crowell picks up the 1st down, 1st and 10 now for Emporia from the Pittsburgh 39. And again, straight up the gut. And I think Emporia's got something there.
Yeah.
That they feel is working, but the clock just continues to run. It's stopped now. I'm not quite sure why. There it goes. As we're down to 3 minutes to play in this game. And Pittsburgh with a 2-score lead. Timeout on the field. Pittsburgh wants to talk it over. And I think, JJ, maybe this is just to let that defense catch their breath a little bit.
Yeah. You have to kind of figure maybe Pittsburgh was taken by surprise a little bit at first with all the runs up the middle. They prepared for a flexbone team.
Mm-hmm.
So now what we're seeing is a flexbone offense being ran. And but it's also a little quicker tempo than what they have been seeing. So I don't blame them guys out there for being gassed. I would have been done after the first couple seconds.
Yeah, first game of the year. A lot of guys going both ways. You're not in mid-season condition yet, despite all the work they've done in the offseason. There's just nothing like actually playing to get you into football shape. And so, kind of a merciful timeout by the coaching staff. Let's get our chickens back together, boys. Three minutes to play, fourth quarter. Dragons leading it by 10, 24-14 over the Emporia Spartans. And like you might expect in any first game of the year, some things have looked good and bad from different times throughout this game, and there'll be a lot to work on. But there's a good penetration by that defensive front of the Dragons, and they stop Crowell for no gain on the play.
Yeah, a number 62 for the Dragons out there. He was able to get through. That was J.C. Patterson. Okay, that's what I thought. J.C. Patterson able to really get through there and break it up. And then the Dragons were able to kind of come back around and finish them off. Good job by the Dragons.
Well, it's second down and a long 9 from the Dragon 28-yard line. Clock now runs under 2.5 to play. Gray with the snap, now looking back to pass. He's going to throw this one, and it is complete up to about the 17-yard line. That should be just enough for a first down for the Spartans.
Pretty sure number 14, Cole Hayden out there telling the refs, hey, keep an eye on this guy, about pulled my jersey off.
Yeah. Snap straight ahead once again with Crowell, but the Dragons this time bring a late run blitz by the looks of it. Put a lot of white jerseys right there in the middle of that line, and Crowell stopped after a short gain. It'll bring up second down and 9 from about the 16.
Among others, Ashton Botter in there on that tackle to get a stop for him and keep that clock running. That's your friend right now.
Under a minute 15 to play. Gray leads him to the line, one wide receiver on the far side. Dragons showing pressure again. They're going to bring it, and a weird exchange that time between Crowell and Gray, and Emporia able to hang on to it. They're going to take a timeout here with looking at a 3rd and 6. And I believe they have one timeout left. I don't know. I'm 10 miles away from that scoreboard. So
there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Sure enough. There you go. Each team with one timeout left.
Look at the pro here. He brings binoculars. Sniper vision. So third down and about 6 for Emporia. Under a minute to play. And seems like these last 2 minutes are taking forever. I'm sure that Dragon defense probably feels the same way as well.
Yeah, if they can make him chew up some more clock here. I mean, it's looking good as is right now, obviously. But you have to be concerned about an onside kick if they're able to put it in the end zone or score any points at this point.
Right.
But, the Dragons have to be feeling pretty good about the way things are going as far as the score goes. I know coaches are probably going to have plenty to talk to them about when it comes up. We've seen the penalties, we've seen the fumbles, the interceptions and stuff, and that's all stuff they can work on, and they will.
Good coaches are never happy.
That's true.
Just generally unsatisfied people. And When you win the state championship, they probably give themselves 2 hours.
That's right.
2 hours to be satisfied, and then right back at it.
One smile and back to work.
Maybe a half a smile, like a Mona Lisa smile.
Right.
And then gassers.
Yep.
Yeah. 3rd down and 6 for Emporia from the Pittsburg, call it the 13-yard line. Gray under center, 2 wide in this set. Crowell in the backfield behind him. Back to pass is Gray. Late pressure from the Dragons. His pass too high for his intended receiver, which was Crowell, in the back of the end zone. And now we have another Dragon slow to get up, but he appears to be okay. It's Hinspeeder, was a little bit slow to get up.
No,
looks like he's okay.
Yeah. No flags on the play. Obviously a good sign there.
Yeah.
Couple seconds taken off the clock.
55 seconds left to play. Big 4th down here. Dragons could turn them over if they can get a stop. Pitch to the outside. Crowell mishandles it, and the Dragons are there to stop him, and that'll turn it over to Pittsburg. And I hear a lady singing.
Parker Pinamani, big tackle coming off of that fumble recovery from Emporia. Hey, we needed that. Great job there by Parker Pinamani and the rest of the defense to even get him to cough the ball up like that.
So Pittsburgh with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line, but only 47 seconds left. Emporia can stop the clock with 1 timeout. Dragons, I don't think they need to run a play. I'm no mathologian, but...
No. Yeah, same here.
Well, the play clock right now running, so...
All right, so... Yeah.
They are going to have
They're
to
going to
have to run a play.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Go ahead and use that last timeout.
Well, last year's game, like we mentioned earlier, was pretty much a one-sided blowout in Pittsburgh's favor as they led 42. What was it, 42-7 or 42-0 at the half?
42-0 at the half.
Yeah, and tonight a very different story as Emporia showing some vast improvement year on year. But the Dragons look like they're going to come out of here with the victory, leading 24-14 right now, just 47 seconds left. The Dragons with the ball, 1st and 10, and
give it up to Coach Goodman, the quick turnaround that he's made so far. If they can continue and build off of what they were able to do here, they can make some noise. I mean, they still have a tough schedule ahead of them, obviously, but they've really shown a great deal of improvement compared to last year. Next week they have Phil Kinley, then they're at Topeka. Manhattan comes back here, then Spring Hill. That's going to be a tough one, and they end their season at Junction City.
Yeah. A Topeka game, probably not going to be any cakewalk either.
I wouldn't think so.
But, that game at Field Kinley, not to take anything away from those Coffeyville boys, but you'd think that one's winnable. If they play like they played tonight, that's a winnable game. Grogan under center, he's going to take a knee. And I believe the clock's rolling right now, under 35 to play. Emporia doesn't look like they want to stop it with a timeout.
Yeah, they should be able just to run it out here.
Well, if you're Pittsburgh, you're happy to go home with 1-0 with the win on the road. And the Dragons going to have to be a little bit of road warriors here to start this season out. But if you're Emporia, you can kind of hold your head high. Late flag came in on the victory formation. I don't know. Somebody dove across the line for Emporia. I don't know what they're calling.
Yeah,
the penalty was declined, so it doesn't matter. And that'll do it. Purple Dragons get the win. First win of the year, 24-14 over the Emporia Spartans. The Dragons back in action next week on the road, I believe, Shawnee Mission South. I don't know where they're going to be, but we're going to be there. Shawnee Mission South next week, and then the following week, the 19th, at Labette County, so back down in southeast Kansas on the 19th. And then a couple home games before the Dragons hit the road again up to Smithville, Missouri on October 10th. And then a big local rivalry game as we welcome in the Chinook Blue Comets on October 17th. And then on the road again at Topeka High on the 24th of October. But that's a long ways off from here. We got some road trips in our future, but the Dragons started off in style, 24-14 over the Emporia Spartans. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with the post-game show. Talk this one over, talk about next week and the rest of the season coming up. But the Dragons win this one, 24-14. You're watching Purple Dragon football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
Whether you're trying to make the most of the next harvest, navigating a changing business landscape, or planning for the next chapter in your life, the professionals at Prime Accounting Solutions are here to help. With 10 locations, Prime Accounting offers convenient, friendly accounting and tax services at a fair price. Payroll, bookkeeping, business planning, personal tax filing, and more. And now Prime is the place to go for insurance. To find a location near you, go to primeaccounting.net.
At the Farm and Ranch Division of the Four-State Agency, we're a team of experts who genuinely care about you and your farming operation. That's why whether it's a visit to your farm or a friendly chat at our office, we're committed to delivering the service you deserve. Our team is fully licensed in both crop insurance and LRP, allowing us to cover your entire farming operation across Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Contact us today to see how we can help.
Selling equipment can be a hassle. Whether you're needing to replace an old tractor or you're finally getting to retire, the time and energy needed to clean, prep, promote, and sell seems daunting. That's why you need Tyler Jackman and Big Iron Auctions. From one piece to the whole farm, Big Iron Auctions can deliver your items to more than 750,000 registered bidders. Call Tyler Jackman at 620-404-8115 or learn more at BigIronAuctions.com.
Welcome back to Welch Field in Emporia. Purple Dragons get the win in week one, 24-14 over the Emporia Spartans. And for our first broadcast here on Pittsburgh Sports Live, we got it done.
Yep.
I mean, it wasn't the prettiest thing. But, you know what they say, any landing you can walk away from is a good one. And we're all going to walk away from this one. All right, let's talk about get into the post-game show tonight. Our post-game show brought to you by the power of positive thinking. I firmly believe, and JJ, I need you to believe with me.
I got you.
Joe, do you believe? Joe's a believer. Someday soon, we'll have a sponsor for the post-game show. And they'll sponsor the post-game show all season long across all our broadcasts. If you like what we're doing, you want to show support for the Purple Dragons, visit varsitysportslive.com/sponsorships. Let me say that one more time. varsitysportslive.com/sponsorships.
That's good.
Yeah. You could have your name attached to this post-game show. It's okay to dream. All right. So the Dragons come out tonight, force a fumble on Emporia's first possession. They go 25 yards in 6 plays. Score a touchdown, take a 7-point lead. Then Emporia answers back with a touchdown of their own after a Dragon fumble is recovered in Pittsburgh territory by Emporia. They punch it in for the score. 2-point conversion was no good. Dragons led 7-6 heading into the half. Well, we thought they would.
It sure looked like it.
Sure looked like it. But then on one of the last plays of the second quarter, Christian Krogan's pass picked off and returned. I believe it was Oliver. Where'd he go? The kid not on the roster.
Here you go.
So he's going to make all the big plays.
That's not him.
That's not him. Nope. Oliver Klein. I think, made the interception and the touchdown return. It's about an 80-yard return. And just like that, Pittsburgh was trailing 13-7. And then the Dragons came out in that third quarter and kind of took control of the game. Although they didn't score on their opening drive, they were able to get a stop, scored on their second drive, and then really the nail in the coffin for Emporia came on a 21-yard touchdown pass from Christian Krogan to Malachi Meadows to give Pittsburgh High the 7-point lead, and then able to tack on a field goal to go up by 10. And a 35-yard field goal, not bad for Rada.
Not bad at all.
And there were times tonight, Dragons looked great. There were other times they looked a little bit out of sync, and it was just first game of the year. That's pretty much how you would categorize this one.
Yeah, if as far as first games go, you're going to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
If you go out and play it perfect your first game, you probably better worry your second game. But they did a great job. They really did. Malcolm Riley, huge game from him. Malachi Meadows, big catch from him. And then Parker Pinamani leading the team with, unofficially this is, he had 8 tackles, 2 assists, and 2 of those were tackles for loss. Big game from him. And we saw a lot of other guys step up. Alex Hinspeeder coming in and filling in for Damaris Partee. Damaris will be back next week. So Alex did such a great job, and he's a first-year center. So, I mean, we didn't see any bad snaps, anything like that. A lot of positive things that you can take out of this.
Yeah, Emporia, now they had a few bad snaps that they had to recover from offensively, and, but they get the L, but not one that you hang your head from.
No.
And considering how this game went last year, there's a lot to take pride in if you're the Spartans and to take with you forward into the season. But the W goes to the Dragons tonight, and they're back in action next Friday night at Shawnee Mission South, and we will have that game for you here on Pittsburgh Sports Live, hopefully with a few less hitches in our giddy up. But pregame show will start at 6:30, kickoff at 7, and JJ and I will be up there. I've never been to Shawnee Mission South, so this is a new one. I haven't been to too many 5A stadiums around the state, so I'm kind of excited to check out some of these venues we're going to be at. But really can't wait to get back to Hutch Field here in a few weeks. But Dragons on the road against Shawnee Mission South. Then on the road again. We have it here somewhere. Yeah, on the road again at Labette County. And then home against Fort Scott on the 26th. So Dragons are going to play football for almost an entire month without playing a home game. And so they'll be well-seasoned road warriors by the time that Fort Scott game rolls around at the end of the month. But tonight, a big win for the Dragons, 24-14 over Emporia. Get this one started the right way. And back to practice, a lot to work on for next week against Shawnee Mission South. Yeah, I think we should take a break here. Let's take a break. We'll come back, talk this one over a little bit more, and maybe put a bow on it from here in Emporia as the Dragons get the 10-point win on the road and start the season off in style. You're watching Purple Dragon football on Pittsburgh Sports Live.
At GN Bank, we're your neighbor. We see you at the store. We cheer with you at the local football games, serving you with the same friendly faces you have come to know and trust. GN Bank, the best place to bank and borrow.
At Girard Medical Center, our physical and occupational therapy department is dedicated to helping you bounce back stronger. Whether you're recovering from an injury, surgery, or just want to move better every day. From student athletes to seniors, we provide personalized care and expert support right here at home. To learn more about our therapy department and our other services, visit GirardMedicalCenter.com, a proud supporter of the Girard Trojans and your hometown team for health and healing. Rooted in rural, focused on you.
Welcome back one final time to Welch Stadium here in Emporia. Purple Dragons get the win, 24-14 over the Emporia Spartans. Looked shaky at times, but the Dragons pulled it together in the second half and able to just execute that option, complete some big passes, and get out of here with a 10-point win over a spunky and rejuvenated Emporia Spartan football team. And the Dragons will be back in action next week on the road once again up in Johnson County to take on Shawnee Mission South. And we'll have that game for you here on Pittsburgh Sports Live. But for tonight, that's going to do it for us. We're going to have a super relaxing 2.5-hour drive home. And the Dragons probably looking at a 3-hour bus ride home. So I'd rather be us in that situation. But for JJ Carlinger, for Joe McGrath, I'm Josh Ledner saying thanks for joining us. You've been watching Pittsburg High School Purple Dragon football on Pittsburg Sports Live.
From the gridiron to the hardcourt, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.